Good afternoon, Dr. Keliago and Ms. Brower. Yeah, in this video presentation, we will be exploring the topic of social reconstructionism theory. Myself will be taking the introductory part and the conclusion. My friend Joanna will be taking the uh, first part of the body, and Shelley will be taking the second part of the body. In this world where social reconstructionism, social issues are increasing rapidly, our education system plays a key role in shaping both individuals and the society that we live. Education is guided not only by teaching practices but also by underlining curriculum theories. Therefore, this presentation will explore how curriculum theories influences teaching and learning, with particular focus on how education can be used to address real-life social challenges. It will also highlight how this theory connects to the standard-based curriculum, or SBC, in Papua New Guinea. Social reconstructionism theory was developed by George S. Counts in the early 20th century, where he strongly believes that schools should not only uh, reflect society but also help to transform them. His ideas were also influenced by highly educational thinkers like John Dewey, who emphasized learning through experience and the importance of education in promoting democracy. This curriculum theory aligns with the goals of standard-based curriculum in PNG. SBC focuses on developing learners who are only academically competent but also capable of applying knowledge to real life situations. However, its core philosophy centers on social justice, critical thinking, and active participation in real world problems. In this presentation will further be discussed in our next video presentation with our next speaker. Thank you.
I'm going to talk about the key principles for the social constructionism. First is education. Education is seen as a social agent for change. To promote social orders, whatever taught in the class must contribute to the social stability of the community. This is the primary goal of the education. Second one is student. Student is seen as a change agent. It is the change agent for the students that view education as a vital tool for social transformation that aim to reconstruct society into more just, equitable, and democratic order. A third one is critical thinking and consciousness. Teachers must think critically and consciously by organizing themselves as thinkers to identify real world problems and encourage students to critically analyze and find solutions rather than using what has been written already by National Department of Education. The fifth one is commitment to social justice and equity. The education can be seen as tool to rebuild society after it has been demolished from the activities like military, social activities, and some more can be rebuilt. Connect Number six is connect learning to curriculum changes, shifting from content based or teacher centered to student centered that improve student outcomes and engagement. Okay, how the social reconstructionism reform curriculum design and implementation. Social reconstructionism reform curriculum design and implementation by shifting the educational focus from traditional knowledge which acquired to proactive, which means it positioning education as a proactive tool for social reform rather than cultural knowledge acquired. It treats schools agents of social change, designing curriculum and encouraging students to examine cultural heritages and implementing through critical pedagogy, which teacher facilitate instruction, guiding students through without mandating direction in which learners take an active, responsible role in their education. Okay, examples of how The social reconstructionism connects to classroom practice or curriculum policy within SBE in PNG. Social reconstructionism was connected to classroom practice by training students to solve local issue like community link project, cleanup project, address local health issues that affect the community, revive indigenous knowledge, engage students to do practical work by doing gardening, like in the agriculture, you can tell students to go and uh, do gardening, uh, traditional arts, like in arts class, and small businesses, like in business studies. The above approaches shift the learning content from the classroom to the real world.
Talk about the second part of the body, that is, social reconstructionism theory influences the philosophy, structure, and delivery of SBE in the country PNG. The first one is integral human development. The underlying philosophy of PNG education is integral human development, which draws from reconstructionism to focus on the whole person, spiritual, social, physical, and economic. Active citizenship and social change. The SBC is designed to empower students to analyze critical social issues such as corruption, law and order issue, and inequality, and become change agent rather than passive reception of information. Influence on structure and delivery, context based subject area, values oriented framework, student centered and activity based learning, community participation. Social reconstructionism theory is particularly relevant or challenging in the PNG reform context. Social reconstructionism, which views education as a mechanism for social transformation, addressing inequalities, and enabling students to change society, is highly relevant yet profoundly challenging in the Papua New Guinea reform context. The PNG government, through its National Education Reform and Vision 2050, seeks to move beyond traditional schooling to create a new social order that is self-reliant, productive, and cultural appropriate. Relevance of social reconstructionism in PNG context, relevance to real life context, the push for a standard based curriculum and the 166 structure, transitioning from outcome based education, require a curriculum that is relevant to students' everyday lives in their local communities, including vocational and technical skills for rural livelihood. Challenges of social reconstructionism in PNG context, resource and infrastructure constraint. The implementation of such a radical reform demands significant resources such as modern classroom and technology, which are severely lacking in remote rural areas. Teachers training and capacity. Many teachers are product of the previous, less effective outcome-based education system and lack the training to teach using the new methods, leading to resistant or superficial adoption of the curriculum. The strength of the theory, limitation, and practical implication for teacher, learners, and policymaker. Purposeful social change. It tackles society problems directly rather than just reflecting them, focusing on building a new social order, critical thinking development. By examining controversial issues and social inequities, students develop high level critical thinking and analysis skills. Relevance, the curriculum is contemporary and rooted in real world, often local issues. Example, in service learning. Limitation of social reconstructionism, potential for teachers' bias. The focus on social reform risk allowing teachers to inject their own political or social agendas into the curriculum, leading to indoctrination. Neglect of academic context. An exclusive focus on social problems may lead to neglect of foundation knowledge and academic skills. Practical implication for teachers, agent of change. Teachers act as director of research project rather than merely dispensers of knowledge. Teachers must be willing to discuss controversial issues and guide students to create awareness project, meet political leaders, or perform services learner. For learners, active participant, agent of change, project-based learning. For policymakers, curriculum reform, flexible assessment, support for teachers.
The key points from our analysis and application. key principles of social reconstructionism theory as follows: education as a social agency for change, students change agents as a change agents, critical thinking and collaborative, commitment to social justice and equity, connecting learning to curriculum challenges. Social reconstructionism theory guides curriculum practice. It promotes social order and has seen education as a tool to rebuild society after it has been demolished from different activities. In conclusion, promoting inclusive education, standard-based education provides a current pathway for learners from diverse backgrounds, including those with special needs. It sets clear, grade-specific standards that define what students should know, understand, and be able to ensure that curriculum, content, pedagogy, and assessments are aligned with purposeful learning outcomes. It reflects the theory's commitment in reducing social inequalities and empowering marginalized groups. This theory has influenced the shift towards continuous assessment and clear learning standards in SBC. Rather than relying solely on financial examinations, students are assessed based on their progress and achievement of specific competencies. This approach ensures that all learners are supported to reach required standards, reinforcing the idea that education should help every individual develop their full potential. Thank you.